so many task apps out there, but if you're an Apple user, one of the best options might already be on your iPhone, iPad, or Mac. In this video, I'm walking you through Apple reminders from the basics of adding tasks and organizing lists to more advanced features like tags, templates, locations, and widgets. If you're looking for a simple but powerful way to stay organized without downloading another app, this guide will help you get started. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive right in. To get started, let's go over how to add tasks into your Reminders app. To add a task, the easiest way is if you just long hold on the Reminders app itself. You can do plus new and reminders, and then you can start adding your task here and then click the check mark to add that reminder there. Another way that you can also just add a reminder is, of course, just to open up the app itself. Here you can see your reminders list. I can just add another reminder just simply by typing here. So something like this, and then just click check again, and then you can see it there. So you can see that I have 2 tasks in my all reminders, and I have currently a list here for my reminders. Another way that I can add a task is simply to use Siri. So I can go ahead and do, hey Siri, add a task in my Reminders app to make a doctor's appointment. So here you can see make a doctor's appointment in my reminders. So now if I open it up, you can see all of the reminders I've created so far. One thing to note when you are creating reminders, the Reminders app actually recognizes when you type the date that you want to do this reminder and will suggest you to add it. So let's say that I need to make a doctor's appointment today at 4 p.m. You can see how everything is highlighted, and then I can just click suggested time and it already adds that in for me today at 4 p.m. I also wanted to go over all of the things that you can actually add to a task as well. So now when I have my make a doctor's appointment, I can click the eye icon to see any notes that I might have, URLs if I want to attach that, date, time, and whether or not it's urgent. So if you mark it as urgent, it's actually going to send you an alarm. So that's pretty useful if it's something you really need to do. Repeating early reminder is if you want to be reminded before that event happens. Which list it goes into, tasks, subtasks, if you want to flag it, priority. And then it will also understand when you're in a certain location to remind you or when you're messaging. And then you can also add an image. And to do a quick action, you can actually also slide this way and see the details, flagging it, and also deleting it this way. The next thing in the Reminders app that I wanted to share with you all is about lists. Other than actually adding certain reminders, the other important organizational element of this app is the list feature. So as you can see, by default, you do need to have one list where you can keep your reminders. But I would suggest adding multiple lists for different areas of your life. So for example, if I click here, edit lists, I can see all of my lists and I can click here to add new lists. So let's say that I have a list for personal like this, then I can choose what kind of list it is, whether it's a groceries or a smart list. We'll go over that a bit later, but I'm just going to keep it a standard list. And then what I'll do is choose a color for my list. I can also choose an emoji for it. And then when I'm done, I can click the check mark. So now I have my personal list here, and I can start adding reminders, which are personal reminders, things like call John about barbecue, for example. And then I can click out like this. And if I check off, you can see I have my personal here. And I could even add another one, which could be for work. And then I can click check here, and I'll have my work list. And maybe here I need to prepare a presentation, something like this. Check it out like this. And now I have reminders, personal, and work. Now, if you do want to have your lists within this top part here, what you'd need to do is to do edit list. And let's say that I want my personal list to actually go to my pinned lists up here. So I can then just move that up here. I can also do the same with my work one. So I can see all of those lists directly from there. So now you see personal, I can do one touch to get there, and my work. And if I'm in the main view here, I can also long hold this to now add directly to a certain list. So I can go immediately to my personal list this way. Another thing about the specific list itself is that you have different view options. Let's say that I would prefer to view this list as columns. I could click view as column. And now I can see call John about barbecue appear in a column. And if I want to, I can add new columns. So maybe this column could be for tasks which are household related. And then this one over here could be tasks related to friends, like this. And then I can click the check mark. So now let's say that I want to add a household reminder. I want to make sure to buy cleaning supplies like this and then click like this. So I could see it in this kind of column view. And if I wanted to view it as a list, I can move it back. And now it actually shows all of these as various sections. So that's another thing that you can do is that if you click on the three dots, you can manage your sections, either add new sections or edit new sections. So when your view is in a list, then it's going to be called sections. When it's in a column, you'll be able to see it in columns. And while we're here, I'll also explain a bit more about these other options. So you can see the whole list info by clicking here and change the colors, emojis, and so on. You can also select reminders like this. And then you can also manage your sections. You can sort it by the date or creation date or priority based on what you want to see. You can also toggle on the completed tasks if you want to see those. So let's say that I finished this. Now it removes itself, but I could show it again to see what was there before. I can also save it as a template, print, or delete the whole list. The next thing that I wanted to cover is about the smart lists and groceries feature. So basically, you can actually create a list which is only for groceries and it's going to auto categorize itself. So if I do groceries here and then I choose the list type to be groceries, and then if I select here, I can start adding grocery items. So let's say I need to buy bread, I need to buy apples, I need to buy eggs, and so on. So now you can see that it's actually categorizing it based on the type of item that I'm trying to buy. So this is pretty nice as well. The other one, which is the smart list, if I click here to add a new list, the smart list is a way to add filters. So let's say that I want to create a smart list for items due this week. And I edit the features and I just want to see the date, which is a relative range. And I want it to see in the next week. So then I could check here and it's going to show me all of the due items for the week. So you can think of smart lists as a filtered view of all of your reminders and then individual lists as places to actually hold those reminders. Finally, in terms of lists, I wanted to also share that you can share your list and actually collaborate on them as well with other people who have an Apple account. So you can just click the button here to share, and then you can see people you invite can add others, and then you can collaborate. One thing to note is that if you do set things like alarms and notifications, those will not carry over to the other people you're sharing the list with, but it's really good if you want to have a shared grocery list or shared list of household items with your spouse, for example. Next, let's get into some advanced tips. So one of the big tips that I have is to really utilize the locations feature that the Reminders app comes with. I think that this is really useful. So if I go to my personal and for buy cleaning supplies, maybe I want to be reminded when I'm actually at that store where I can buy the cleaning supplies. So then what I can do, instead of setting like a due date or something like that, I could instead set a location-based reminder that when I'm there, it's going to pop up. So here I just need to turn on location. Then you can see your current, getting in a car, getting out of a car. Then I could set a specific address where I want to be reminded. I've seen people actually use this feature. Let's say if they want to be reminded of a door code when they're getting near a certain house, or maybe they want to remember not to order a certain dish at a certain restaurant, they can also use that location reminder to do that. The other thing that I think is really useful is the tags. So if I open up buy cleaning supplies here, you'll notice that there is this tags feature. And to add a new tag, I can just click add new tag and start typing a tag name. One way to organize your list is to have lists based on topic, so like personal, work, and groceries list, but then having your tags as ways to categorize based on what type of activity it is. So in this case, to buy cleaning supplies, that actually requires me to get in my car. So I could actually put this as a car tag. So it requires a car for me to do this one. Let's say call John about barbecue. This one, I could set a tag, which is to use my phone. So I could do phone and then enter. So now I can have phone as my tag for this particular reminder. So what that can allow you to do is now if I go down and let's say that in my work, I also have a phone-based one to call supervisor about presentation. And if I click the eye icon and then I add the tag to phone like this, and then if I go back and I'm here, I can set the tag to phone and see all of my phone reminders, car reminders, and so on, so that then I can actually utilize this in a way that I'm doing all the tasks based on what type of activity it is. So that's my suggestion for tags. The other thing I wanted to go over is that you can share certain things to the Reminders app while you're, let's say, browsing on your phone. Say that I actually want to save this recipe at some point, or I'm going to be reminded to make this tonight. I could just go to the share icon here, and then you'll find that I can share it to my Reminders app, and I can add it to specific lists. So let's say this is for my personal, and I'll just put make tonight, and then I can click the checkbox here. And now if I go to my Reminders app, you'll now see in personal the easy lemon chicken, and I can actually see the link to it as well. So that's how you can share things. You can also do the same with images, to click the share icon and then you can share it to your Reminders app. The other one I wanted to show is that you can group lists. To group lists, all you have to do is click the edit lists here, and then you'll see that you can add a group. So here, let's say that I want all my active lists, and then I can choose what list should go in there, for example. So now I can see my active lists here, and I could just move my personal one in here, and I can also move my work list in there too, and then save. So now you can see active lists like this, and it's all inside of my group. So that's another thing that you can use in order to then categorize your list types. This is good if you tend to create a lot of lists for different occasions or events and you just need to store them somewhere. You don't want to delete them or things like that. You can do that. The other thing I wanted to share is the templates that you can add. So let's say that this grocery list is something I want to shop for every week. I can actually click save as template, and I'll just do weekly groceries and then enter. And then if I go to my main page here and I add a new list, I can go to my templates and then just click this and create the new list, and I'll see my weekly groceries already filled out. So this is good if you need like a packing list or some kind of checklist that you reuse over and over again. This can be great. The final advanced tip I have is that you can also add subtasks to your main task list. So let's say that to prep a presentation, I need to do certain subtasks. So I'm going to add other reminders underneath. Let's say that I need to do some research, and then I need to create a draft and so on. So now if I click the checkbox, you'll see that prep presentation now has the research and create a draft as the two subtasks. If I want to move it out, I can simply drag it out like this or drag it back under. And if you want to add subtasks, you can also simply add subtask directly here. You can hold it and then move it around. So I can actually put it underneath just by hovering it on top. The next thing I wanted to cover is about widgets for your reminder app. If you want to add a widget, you can tap and hold on your screen, then click edit and then add widget. Now you can search for reminders and click that and then choose from the 3 options. And this basically allows you to showcase one of your lists in a widget form. So you can either have a small one, a medium size, or a bigger one. So let's say I add the small one, I can add that widget and then it appears here. Now if I click done, you can see that I can hold on this list, edit widget, and then I get to choose which list gets displayed here. So if I wanted it to actually be groceries, then it can be like this. If I click this one and I want to change the size, I can change the size. I can also click here and edit widget, change the list like this. And then if I hold edit widget, I can also change it to other list. So it's pretty flexible. If you want to use this mainly, this is really good. And if you tap the task, it's actually going to automatically get removed from your list. If you click on the widget, you can immediately start adding tasks directly from that widget. I also wanted to cover that you can add home screen widgets for your reminders app as well. So if I'm in my home screen, if I click on the home screen, I can click customize. Now if I click customize and then click somewhere here, I can look for my reminders app. So I can click reminders and tap or drag to add the widget. So I can remove this one just to show you. I can tap and add it there. Now, once I have it, I can also tap it again to see, let's say I want to see all of my tasks for today. Then I can do something like this. Now, if I'm happy with it, I can click done. And now I see my widgets appear here. When I finish a task, I can actually just take it off directly from my home screen as well, which is really useful. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to explore additional tools, reviews, and guides, be sure to check out the link in the description to my website. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video.